Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic episode of High School Stories. This one's a good one. We're going to talk about how I almost got caught with weed during a police raid. It is a crazy story, guys. We had a goal back in the day on High School Stories to get a certain number of likes. And can we try for 10,000 this episode? Everyone out there, click that like button. So I was reminded of this story because all we did on 7th Street in terms of gaming was play Madden. We would bet money on Madden. Madden was huge back in the day, and it reminded me of the crazy times that we had. And just really quick, San Francisco versus the Packers. We're down 17-7 in the fourth quarter. Kind of reminds me of the playoffs this year. Don't want to talk about that anymore. But anyways, let's get to the story. So how did I have this bag of weed on me? So someone who shall be remain nameless for the sake of the story gave me a bag to throw out of leftovers from an ounce of regular weed. If you're not familiar with the drug trade, there's a few different classifications of 7th Street weed. There's like regular weed, which I believe comes like straight from Texas. If you see like those big barrels of weed that are grown out in the wild, it's really crappy, uncontrolled weed, and usually there's a lot of seeds in it, and it's just a lower quality. So the bag full of junk consists of a lot of the stems and seeds and stuff. Then there's like mid-grain, and then there's dro, which is really good stuff, and that's how it works, at least where I was from. So anyways, I had no desire to smoke this weed, not because it was like a lower grade of quality. Believe me, I smoked some shitty weeds back in my pothead days, but because I wasn't smoking at that point in my life. I was 15 at the time, and I started smoking when I was like 17 and a half years old. And by the way, after like 12 years old, if you say you're 13 and a half or 14 and a half, it looks like a little ridiculous, and it makes you sound a lot younger than you actually are. So I don't know why I just said that right there. You better take a knee. Did you see me coming with a ferocity? I was coming down fast. Anyways, so I saw potential in this bag full of junk. One man's junk is another man's treasure. So I broke it down. I had like one of those pasta graters where you like strain out the pasta water. I took my mom's pasta grater, took this weed, and I was like kind of shaking it like I was mining for gold or something, and a little bit of this, like the flakes of weed were coming down, and there were some good chunks left over. So I must have spent, I want to say, 30 minutes to an hour trying to get all the little marijuana that I could out of this bag, and I ended up actually having a good amount. What the street value back in the day would have been about $10 to $15. So I had a nice little chunk of weed, a little bag, and this honestly was like the first time me fiddling and diddling with anything of this sort. So I had no idea what I was doing. I actually added, like a dumbass, I added a few seeds into the bag to make it look bigger, but people don't like the seeds, so it turned at least one person off that I was trying to sell it to back in my Pablo Escobar, Scarface days. I was doing really big back in the day. So anyways, so I should clarify that I know the NSA and the FBI are listening. This is a totally fictional story that never happened, or is it non-fiction, fiction? I'm not sure. This never happened, wink wink, so don't arrest me, please. Anyways, so I had this bag on me for maybe 3 days. I was trying to sell it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to get money as a young, stupid 15-year-old kid. And one day, I was down the block with my bag in my pocket, trying to get rid of it. At this point, it was like the third day. I was trying to like get rid of it for like $5, but apparently nobody was interested. So I asked a few people, and it wasn't working out for me. So I was like, okay. I felt kind of awkward and like weird with like weed on me at that point. This was like my first encounter with it, so I was like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, we live literally maybe 3 blocks from a police station, so I was like, let's put this in, let's take this inside. So I did, and then when I came out, there was police walking down the block. I was walking towards the police as they were walking down the block to go to my 7th Street friend's house, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And it was like SWAT, riot gear, a lot of cops coming down the block. They were parked on the opposite side of the street, on like in the side of the street, so no one saw them coming, and they just came deep. And I was like, what is going on? I don't have anything, officers. It wasn't me. I swear I didn't know what I was doing. I thought it was oregano. But they weren't coming for me. They apparently, and this is so bullshit, they thought that there was a kidnapping taking place in one of the houses that everyone kind of hung out at, and they actually thought there was a hostage in the basement tied up. So they come with like 20 police officers deep, and all my friends that were on the porch were in handcuffs. They were getting searched, and literally I was on that same porch not 5 minutes before they came. I got so lucky in that situation. I literally just dropped the bag off at my house, came back outside to see all these cops coming, and just like putting my friends on the floor. They had like fresh white tees on. That's what, like, if you want to go back in hip hop culture or just fashion culture, it was the time of the white tees. Everyone had like a plain, yup, in my white tee. That's when that song was really popular. I don't know if any of you guys remember it, but like everyone had white tees. They were dirtying everyone's fresh white tee by putting them on the floor, looking for this hostage. And what it turned out to be was some kind of training exercise, totally made up, total BS, total ridiculousness. And they didn't find any drugs, they didn't find any hostages, nothing. And this story was so crazy and so ridiculous, it got on the news. It was on the front page of the Spanish Journal in Milwaukee. Like, it was a big deal that these cops just came in with no warrant looking for a hostage. That it turned out that no one called in any hostage reports, and they just wanted like a training exercise. Ooh, touchdown, taking the lead with 11 seconds to go. There's an awesome new Skyrim live action video on Machinima Prime from the makers of Real Life GoldenEye and the live action Splinter Cell fan film. That link is in the description, annotation on the screen. Check it out. Bye.